Hello, guys. My name is Justin Fisher. I'm a first year physical therapy student, currently in the winter semester. I actually graduated from Nova, the main campus in Fort Lauderdale, last night. I hopped to the different ocean, same shark, over into this program. Basically, what this presentation is going to be about, I know we talked about it before. You guys are pretty familiar with Canvas, like how it works. So I'm just gonna hit some main points of what it's like kind of being a student in a hybrid program. So I know we also mentioned we have about 3.5 weeks of online and then in person, kind of like that hybrid model that maybe any of you guys done a program with that before? So it's kind of it's going to take a little acclimating at first. But honestly, it's one of the best things I think because of the flexibility of the program, being able to do your work wherever you want, and then just coming in person, learning on your skills on the weekends, and taking tests as well. So I guess I'll start off with that first, talking about weekend activities. So first of all, on Canvas, you're gonna have your classes. So right now I'm in biomechanics, clean skills, health and wellness, and systems management. There's also gonna be the EPT Student Center. It's gonna have all the information you need regarding schedules, supplies, COVID-19 policies. Those are constantly changing. That virus evolving. So I'm just gonna head over to the schedules. Here you can see the winter event schedule. So this is from last month, January, and I'm a PT1. So we have 4 days in person, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's broken down depending on what year you are. So I'm PT1, so I'm this first column. So on that Thursday, I had systems 2 from 8 to 12 and 31:20 and 32:03. Then I had a lunch break, and I had health and wellness in the afternoon. So these schedules are already pre-made. They are subject to change, so I would recommend just checking up on them before the weekend itself, because sometimes it can get funky. It's also when hurricane season comes around, that could get real wacky. We had a situation like that last semester, and it changed the entire schedule. But basically, these days are pretty long. They might seem intimidating, but they really are important for honing in on your skills and getting really prepared for those tests and practicals, because those usually come on Sunday. So this last past Sunday, I had a system exam in the morning, biomechanics exam right after that. Enjoyed the food truck, and then had a skills check in the afternoon. So you probably asked me, all right, so what's a skills check? Those basically are hands-on practicals where we're being graded by a faculty member on how well we know the techniques and manual strategies forming on a patient perspective. So that was last weekend. So then next weekend we have is going to be in March. We already have the schedule already, so you can plan ahead. Another one in late March, early April, and the last one in April. So you guys would be starting out in the summer, which is actually going to be 3 days instead of 4 on the weekend, which is pretty nice. The 4 days are pretty long, but that's because there's just a lot of information. So I'm going to head over. I'll show you guys. So I'm just going to tap into, say, my clinical skills class. So each week, professors usually post an announcement of what's going on for that week. Kind of call them Monday morning memos. So I'll open one as an example. So basically Monday morning memos are basically giving feedback on the previous week of what happened, any questions that might have gotten answered that maybe you want to share with the class, and also what to expect for this upcoming week. So this one, hope week's off to a great start. Please see the overview for week 6. Just a reminder, you have an assignment due Sunday. I can do that. And also some clarifying questions received upcoming projects as well that you want to share with the class. And she also posted a video breaking down everything that we need to be aware of for that week, what's due, and what's expected of us. So it's a one-day memo. So now I'm going to move to. Also, if you want to look at the memos, we also have the entire syllabus, which was all the information regarding the course outline, what's expected of you, the textbooks and resources, and literally has the whole course schedule. So like week one was watch these lectures, these chapters of the book were required to read, and what was completed during that week. Like the course syllabus, watch intro to the course, APTA documentation, and discussion board. So basically, anytime you're maybe confused or what do I have to do this week, refer to the syllabus. There's a syllabi for each class, and they're great for also planning ahead. I'm not sure how many of you guys use a planner, but I do, and it's probably the best thing. Writing down, all right, I have this, I have this, I have this, because it's so easy to forget. And by the time it's due at midnight, what do I do? You know, so going back here. So seeing what we have for each week will be in our modules. So for example, like this was for this week. Some classes are broken down weekly, some bi-weekly. So for like this class, it's weeks 5 and 6, shoulder, elbow, and forearm. So there's usually like a welcome tab, saying what you have to read for the week, what videos you have to watch, what books you need to refer to, and maybe like what you need to practice. So like this week I've been practicing my goniometry and manual muscle testing techniques, and also working on like study guides as well. So basically this is in each module what's expected of you, not on top of like that. So also we have discussion boards for each class, whether they're assignment discussion boards where you're answering questions that the teacher asks you about and then giving feedback to others, or there's a discussion board just if you have any questions, because odds are if you have a question for the teacher, maybe someone else in your class also has that same question. So we have, say, unit 1 questions. So like next, complete number 3 correctly, and then Dr. Goforth, which we met before, responded to a response. So that the whole class can see it because they had this question. I find this a great way to communicate with the professors at a close distance, because it is might feel distant from school because wherever home may be, that's where you're doing your classes. But you can easily reach out to professors. They're more than willing to give feedback and guidance. Do have some confusion. Now I'm going to just show. So since we are a hybrid class and online most of the time, a lot of our assignments are video assignments, meaning that you're at home and you're required to create a video based on the techniques you've learned throughout the lectures and stuff like that. And so I'm just going to show scan. This problem goes here, so I hope it works now. So I'll just do like one of my classmates for those.
Hello, my name is Josue Camacho. I'm a student physical therapist. Today we're going to be measuring your range of motion during forearm supination. So forearm supination looks like this, just turning the palm to the ceiling, okay? So we're going to start with the elbow flexed at 90 degrees. Nice, keep it nice and close to your body. And then I'm going to line the goniometer fulcrum just medial to the ulnar styloid. And then I'm going to ask the patient if you could please turn your palm to the ceiling for me. Good. And I'm getting about 85 degrees of forearm supination. So this is good. You're within, or actually beyond the normal range, which would be 80 degrees of forearm supination. And the end feel of the joint should be a firm end feel.
So it's kind of like a quick example, like a video assignment, and you can see like my entire class has posted their videos as well. And also you can get feedback from professors to see maybe your strengths and weaknesses during the video, and ensuring that the techniques you're learning at home, that you're still doing them properly and correctly. So that also kind of helps practicing all the things you've learned in the lecture. And when you come to the institute, it's not so much that you're not reviewing, but you're expected to know everything already. Now you're just trying to perfect those skills. Because like I said, those institutes are long days with those practicals, and that's when you're really trying to hone down your skills, make sure you get the proper techniques. And so you can do well in your practice. So I believe in the, you guys will be starting in the summer, you guys will have 4 classes, I believe. One of them is anatomy, which will have video assignments like that. It won't be going geometry, but it'll be patient videos. So it's like a similar thing where you're asking a patient, you have a family, friend, even a classmate, like a to be a patient, and you're gonna palpate the structures. And you just like I'm palpating my elbow. They just feeling structures and make sure that you're on the right spot. And you're demonstrating to the professors that hey, you're following the instructions with the lectures, you're on pace, and you're doing the right activities. You guys have any questions? So another thing I love too is with the flexibility of the program, is I had family in New York, so like I went home for Thanksgiving holidays, and it wasn't so much a problem for me to get my work done because it is online, and it's more of the schedule adapts to you rather than you adapt to the schedule. As long as you give enough time for each class, this is a program where you also don't want to fall behind. You know, cramming just doesn't work. You know, and that'll be reflected in your grades, unfortunately. So making sure you're pacing yourself with your study schedule and ensuring you are digesting all the material on time, and also bonding with your classmates. Might be a little tough at first, kind of trying to find like your people in the program, but over time you'll realize, hey, we're all in this together, and you know, you form study groups, you'll get together. Your brain's just going to start bouncing ideas off each other. And I find that's a great way to learn, see where your strengths are, see where your weaknesses are. One of the best ways for studying is teaching someone else the material. So that shows we really are confident with it. You guys have any questions?
Since you've attended this campus and the campus in Fort Lauderdale, like how has this program strike you different from the other one?
Definitely adjusting to the online experience. I was used to face instruction for 4 years of undergrad, and make sure like I was on time for class, getting all the notes down properly. So, you know, sometimes in class you're taking notes and all of a sudden the professor's on 3 slides later, and you're like, man, I missed those slides. Or one of my favorite things to do, it sounds so simple, clicking pause. Because with these lectures, some of them there's so much information that I just pause, take a break. Maybe you read something, you're like, you know, and rereading it and being able to go back, speed up lectures, slow down lectures. That's the best part. Because I think Dr. Moulton mentioned once that like even the attention spans only like 20 minutes. And I can tell you there's lectures that are much longer than 20 minutes. So being able to chunk it is definitely a big part. And yeah, it's definitely different. It's going to be a little bit of a transition, but after a while, you kind of find your rhythm, try to find your schedule. You know, and I know a lot of people have made working as well. Like we have a few people in our program that work as well, and you know, it's the fact that you don't have to get school like getting out of there. You know, you could work a job in the morning and then school work at night. That's like the flexibility of it. Besides the weekend institutes, they're pretty much mandatory in extreme circumstances because of how important they are in clarifying all the information, working with professors and labs, and ensuring that you're doing what's expected. Any other questions? So I'll show an example of a lecture. So this is a biomechanics course, which I entered here. It's kind of like the home page for each class as well. Kind of shows you each part. So getting started, the meet your instructor, it's Dr. Sherry, it's not here today. The schedule, excuse me, the modules, resources. If you have any trouble with your computer, just echo. So I'm in 6. And so, like I said before, it's kind of a breakdown in each module, what's expected each week. So this week, it's reading the textbook chapter 67, knowing the upper extremity round norms, doing the open and closed pack chart, and reading extra videos from the textbook, watching L1 forum lectures, completing case study, pre-lab, pre-lecture. So one of the lectures Joe watched this. So this is an example of one lecture, like I said, about an hour. If I could come do 20 minutes one day, okay, let me just review those 20 minutes that I learned, make sure I got it. Because what's also great is we get for this class a study guide, which I personally fill out as I'm listening to the lecture, make sure I get all the information I need. And then one of the best study tips is after you're done with the lecture, you think you've got it all, pull up a blank study guide and really find out how much information you know. Like I said, chunking it is one of the best things, because like I said, like we know life gets in the way. Taking care of family, car breaks down, never know what to expect each day. Given that, hey, you wake up, your car gets flat tire, you're not missing a plastic. That's a big part. It's like for undergrad, that happened. I missed all that information, and now I got to talk to a classmate to figure it out. You guys are Yeah, so actually when you come in the summer, you're actually going to get a mentor from a class above you. So it'll be my class, which is PT1, PT2s, because you guys will be PT1s. So everyone will be assigned a mentor, kind of show them like what's expected for that time. I believe there's also tutoring services, library, I think. Also, I find, like I mentioned before, working with classmates. That's one of the best ways to not only like tutor, but like learn yourself. I do the tutor and the student, I guess is the word. That's one of the best ways for learning, but there's definitely plenty. The other question? I didn't go over my time. All right.
No, you're good. And we're done. You can pay adieu and shut down the recording.
Okay.